This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Skip Monty.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast of the Tri-Cities and Western North Carolina. So we are thrilled today to have a very special guest in our studio for the first time, and appreciate her taking time out of her busy schedule to be here with us and tell us all about what she does. And I'm sure you'll be just as excited because today I have the pleasure of introducing your good neighbor, Dr. Susie Gronski, who is a physical therapist. Dr. Gronski, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Skip.
Well, we're thrilled to have you. And like I said, excited to learn all about you and what you do. So if you don't mind, why don't you kick us off by telling us about your enterprise?
I'm a doctor of physical therapy, a pelvic health therapist, and a certified sexuality counselor and educator. I have a private practice in Asheville, North Carolina, which specializes in men's pelvic and sexual health. Of course, we see all bodies because all bodies have pelvises and genitals and poop, pee, and have sex. So those are the most important aspects of what we do in our community to serve those who have those intimate concerns.
Wow. So what exactly is, tell us about pelvic health for men.
Yes. So everything in between your butt bones would be considered the pelvic floor. And that entails muscles, nerves, genitals, and also the organs that live in the pelvis. So the bladder, the prostate, and the rectum. And sometimes there are issues that happen down below. Some of those issues could be pain. So that could be pain with recreational activities, pain with sitting, pain with bowel movements, pain with sex. And you can also have issues related to bladder concerns. So incontinence, difficulty emptying your bladder, having a weak urine stream. And you might have issues with bowels, such as constipation, diarrhea, or even anal incontinence, so involuntary loss of stool, liquid, or gas. And so we work to support men, and certainly, of course, all bodies who have pelvises, because we all have them, to improve sexual function, bladder function, bowel function, or whatever their concerns may be related to everything below the belt.
Everything below the belt. Very good. Didn't know that. So, Dr. Susie, how, if you don't mind me calling you Dr. Susie, how did you get into this business?
So I've been a pelvic health therapist for the past 12 years, and I began specializing in men's pelvic health about 10 years, greater than that actually now. And this started way before I even moved to this area in Western North Carolina, which is going to be 9 years ago. But I started my practice in Illinois, where I'm originally from. And when I started my baby practice there as a fresh pelvic health therapist, newly graduated, really a doctor of physical therapy, men were reaching out for help. I had a very generic practice that listed women's health specialties because historically pelvic health therapy is very gynocentric and female-centric, women's health related, and the men are left out. And so men were asking very bravely and courageously for help. I'm having issues of pain in my genitals. I'm having issues around my tailbone. Sex is uncomfortable. I have sexual dysfunction. I have incontinence. A lot of these men also have had procedures done, like a prostatectomy or enlarged prostate procedures that resulted in either pain or sexual dysfunction or urinary incontinence. And so they're just asking for help. I need help. I'm not getting help in the traditional medical spaces. And so I got really curious. I opened my doors and my heart to these men. And it is through their bravery and their courage that I then stepped into this space to be an advocate for men to close the gap that exists related to pelvic and sexual health care in these spaces. And that's how it all started.
Wow. Well, we're glad you've been in North Carolina for 9 years. What part of Illinois are you from?
It was the southwest suburbs. So Willow Springs, Burr Ridge area is where I first started my practice. And then we moved here to Western North Carolina, Asheville area, 9 years ago.
And what brought you to Western North Carolina, if I can ask?
Oh, for sure. Yes. So my husband and I wanted a change of pace. So in Illinois, the area we were living, very concrete jungle, fast pace. It wasn't our lifestyle. We love the outdoors. We love hiking, and Western North Carolina is such a beautiful part of our country. And we actually got married in Greenville, South Carolina, years prior to the move. So our heart has been in this area for a very long time.
The upstate, South
Yep.
Carolina. Greenville's a very cool town, actually.
And it's so close.
Yeah, and Asheville is a wonderful, wonderful place. Absolutely,
Yeah.
It's growing. I'm from Shelby, North Carolina, which isn't too far away from Asheville.
Yeah, that's right.
So anyway, so what are some myths or misconceptions in your industry?
Well, the first one being that pelvic health therapy is just for women's health. I think it's the biggest one that I've already sort of alluded to, that there's such a huge gap in accessibility for men in pelvic health care and sexual health. And so it's not just a women's issue. Men also experience issues with pooping, peeing, and sexual concerns. And so why not also include them in our spaces? And so that's the first misconception. Well, the biggest misconception really related to what we do. And then the second one being that, having issues with peeing or having issues with sexual function, that's just normal as you age. And I would say it may be common as we get older, because our bodies do change for various reasons and other health comorbidities, but it's not normal. So if you're leaking from bladder or bowel, if you're having sexual dysfunction, or if sex is painful, whether you have a penis or whether you have a vagina, that is not normal, and there's help and hope for that.
Awesome to know there are people that specialize in that, because I can't imagine. So outside of work, Doc, what do you like to do for fun?
I love to go hiking with my dog Stella, my husband. It's my favorite pastime activity. I also love spending time with family and friends in this area. We love traveling, and I'm also a spiritual practitioner, so I meditate quite a bit. And so my travel these days is temple hopping, going to various temples throughout the country and also internationally. So that's what I love to do.
Wow, temple hopping. Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's what I call it, temple hopping. I travel to visit temples and meditate and do retreat and things like that.
Oh, very cool. That's very cool. So, and of course, time with family is always a great answer too. So let's switch gears for just a second. Can you think of a hardship or a life challenge that you've encountered or you overcame, and when you came out the other side, you were better for it? Anything come to mind?
Let me think about this one. There's many, but we often tend to forget the hardships that happen.
For folks in Asheville, lately, a lot of things pop up, or Helene.
For sure, absolutely, yeah, and that definitely was last October, which I think was just such a shock to all of us. And living through that as a community has been. There's a lot of hope. There was so much kindness and gratitude and love and support, that from such a adversity came so much generosity and love and hope and resilience. So as a community, we have been rebuilding, and it's been beautiful to see that, but certainly challenging in many ways for our community, and continues to be. So I'm glad that you brought that one to mind. I can't believe it's been almost a year already that has occurred. It is. It just flies by. I would say the other two that are big ones that come to mind are certainly my niece who passed. She was 3 months old, my brother's child. That was several years back as well, and a dear cousin of mine who was in her 30s who passed. Those were, loss of family, loss of friends that have recent diagnoses of cancer. all those things are just, life-changing for all of us in those circles. And I'm sure many of us can relate to that as well. So.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Everybody. But it seems as though, here on the other side, you're strong and hanging in there, doing great.
Absolutely. Trying to stay strong and peaceful, and being a source of peace and support for folks, and sticking with each other, connecting with each other, keeping your heart open, and compassion is so healing for all of us, and so needed in our world of so much pain and conflict.
Amen. I couldn't agree more.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Dr. Susie, if you could think of one thing that you would like our listeners to remember about you and your practice and what you do, what would that be?
If there is anything below the belt or related to your most intimate and private concerns, please feel free to speak up about it, to ask for help, and to know that leaning in these spaces are often very challenging. We often feel very isolated and siloed, like we're it's embarrassing, right, to talk about poop, pee, and sex. It's something that we really openly talk about in our society, in our culture. And so if there are any questions, if there are any concerns, or if you're having issues with incontinence, pain, painful sex, anything related to your genitals or pelvic region, please reach out for help, because there is help. You don't have to just live with it, and it's not just due to getting older. So.
Very good thing to remember. And that's just not something you whip out there very easily
No.
in conversation,
No. By the way, hey, my penis hurts, or, when I'm having sex, it's painful, or, urination isn't quite the same, or I can't, I'm having erectile dysfunction. I mean, none of those, of course we're not talking about it, right? But it normalizes the conversation around these very common experiences that many of us at some point or another in our lives are going to have some potential issue, whether it's related to our bladders, whether it's related to our bowels, or whether it's related to our sexual function, and having an outlet and a space to lean into and not feel judged, and you can trust someone to talk openly about those concerns, I think makes a world of a difference in the therapeutic process, and also gives people opportunity to do something about it and improve their quality of life, because there are many things that we can do to address those concerns from a conservative perspective. So,
awesome. Well, for those of us who, are having an issue, or are worried about one of those three things or four things, how can they learn more?
They can visit my website at drsusieg.com. That's drsusieg.com. I'm also on YouTube. You can find me there at Dr. Susie Gronski. And I also have a very lively and engaging Patreon community, mostly men, really, who are in a camaraderie and support of seeking help for their pelvic and sexual health concerns, and connecting with each other and being so open. And I'm so grateful for all those people in that community to support one another in the way that they do, so openly and so bravely. So that's Patreon, and that is patreon.com/DRSUSIEG.
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
It's patreon.com/DRSUSIEG. I hope that's what it is.
Gotcha.
I'm like, I think I remember that correctly. Yeah.
It looks right. It looks right to me. Awesome. Well, Dr. Susie, I can't tell you how much we appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to spend some time with us and tell us all about your practice, and something that, a lot of people just don't talk about. So hopefully, we'll be able to reach some folks that you can help. So thank you for that.
Well, thank you very much.
Well, thank you. And we'd love to wish you and your family and your clients and your business all the best moving forward.
Thank you very much, Skip. It was a pleasure being here.
It was a pleasure having you. And maybe it's a very deep subject. Maybe we can have you back sometime in the future.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks so much.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnptri-cities.com. That's gnptri-cities.com or call 423-719-5873.